Welcome, everyone, to Todd's World. I am Todd Allen, your host. Thanks for joining me today, guys. I am running solo today. Carrie is not with me. She is on a much needed vacation. So she's actually going to call in a little later in the show. We'll check in with her, see what's going on. Um, but I'm going to handle it solo today. And you know what's going on today is the same thing that was going on last week. It's even more so. We are still involved and obsessed with the Ukraine kerfuffle, the Ukrainian kerfuffle. I'm not sure which would be the right way to say that. Mr. President, Mr. Comedian Elf President Zelensky. He uh He came from Ukraine to the United States to sign a mineral deal yesterday. This would have been Friday, last day, February 28th. So last Friday, Zelensky came to the U.S. to sign a mineral rights deal, which would then put them on the path to peace in this Ukraine-Russian war. And the idea behind it's actually a pretty fabulous idea by Trump. What Trump's saying is, listen, we're going to get some kind of a demilitarized zone, but instead of it looking like the DMZ in Korea, which is just this mile wide swath of no man's land fenced on either side by South Korea and North Korea that they don't go past. Rather than have something like that, we need a bigger demilitarized zone that's a commercial demilitarized zone where the U.S. owns rights to the resources and minerals in that area and is actively, American interest and American citizens are actively working in those areas. Therefore, Putin can't decide to attack Ukraine without first going through an area that has American citizens and American interests. Therefore, it's the greatest security guarantee that the little elf from Ukraine could ever have. But that wasn't good enough for Mr. Comedian President Zelensky. Okay, guys, let's go to this Trump thing and let's listen to some of the fireworks from the Oval Office last Friday.
Everybody has problems, even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it.
We'll have nice ocean.
God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
that.
You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
Don't
we're trying to
tell
solve
us
a
what
problem.
we're going to
Don't
feel.
tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on
position
this
to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this.
what
I'm not
You're in
dictating.
no position to dictate
You're in no
what we're going to feel.
position.
You
We're
will-
going to feel very
you will
good.
feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and
telling
very
We're
you,
gonna
strong.
you will
feel
influence.
fine.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the very
bad position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From
it.
the very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a
Brown,
good position.
I
You don't
was
have
in
the cards right now. With us, you start
I'm
having
not
cards.
playing
But
cards.
right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
Yeah, you're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're gambling.
How frustrated must Trump be with this guy? I mean, say you don't have the cards right now. Of course they don't. I mean, and yet, like Trump's making the most obvious. He's referencing the most obvious metaphor, and Zelensky, it's just boom, right over the wood. I'm not playing cards. Imagine being Trump, and you're trying to make a point to to Mr. Mr. Zelensky, President Zelensky. I can't. I was telling somebody this week, going back and forth with them, and I said they were like, "Did you see Brett Bayer's interview with Zelensky after after the after the whole kerfuffle, the blow up in the Oval Office?" And I said, "No." I said, I am so firmly convinced that the little Ukrainian elf president is completely inconsequential. I don't listen to almost anything he says. When he's with consequential people like President Trump, like Vice President Vance, we'll tune in and we'll see what's going on. But I just can't imagine a world in which this little actor clown has any influence over anything. Now, listen, he's corrupt, he's a criminal, he's a dictator, he is all those things. We're going to get into more of that as we get farther into the show, because apparently the 40 minutes I did last week wasn't enough. I have to enlighten you further because the media, I mean, it's shocking to me what people don't know. Shocking. So I gotta tell you what's going on, because otherwise you're not gonna hear it. You're not gonna, unless you go looking for it, which I think you should. But I understand we're all busy. We all got. That's why you've got me here to be your beacon of truth in a very dark, murky, foggy world. So anyway, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's do some more of Zelensky. It's just fun.
Gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III.
What is the
And
gamble?
what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. It's
with
back
all
to
respect
you.
to your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said
wearing
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once?
A lot of times.
A lot of
Even
times.
today.
You said thank
Even
you.
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition
Ooh.
in October. Offer some
JD.
words of appreciation for the
What's-
United
Go get
States
him.
of America
Speaking about.
and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly.
If
He's
you
not speaking loudly. Your country is
Can I-
in big
can-
trouble.
can I
Wait a minute.
answer?
No,
That's the dumbest exchange I've ever heard. Like, this to me, and I said this to somebody too. I said, I gotta say, I felt like watching this, that this was all just theater, that Zelensky's just playing a part. Because I can't imagine he could be this stupid all on his own. I just can't fathom it. People will say, well, he met with the European leaders and he met with the rhinos in the Senate at a breakfast beforehand, and he was feeling all full of yellow and blue Ukrainian flag vigor. And no, I don't believe it. See, I think I think he's a ridiculous world leader. But he may have been a decent actor. I don't know. I'm not into Ukrainian television. But the fact of the matter is that he's been horribly corrupted. Wait till some of the stuff that we get into later. I mean, I've got a video. In fact, I might have to figure out how to share this one so you guys can watch this van pull up. I want you to see how excited the Ukrainian people are to fight for their country, and how Zelensky is filling the meat grinder that is the northeastern front of his war with Russia. It's just it's crazy. And our media pays no attention at all. So you've got entire swaths of people. A lot of them I've found are a little on the older side. Boomers. Hey boomers. And you know what? I love boomers. I wish my boomer parents were still around. They haven't been for a long time, but I wish that they were. However, one of the things that seems to have persisted into boomerdom is still just kind of a blanket trust in the media. I mean, I don't think the New York Times would lie. I mean, they said it on CNN. I don't know how you could have lived, how you could have existed over the last 5, 6, hell, I don't know, take it to 10 years, but certainly since COVID. COVID just seems to me like the brightest line. And not seeing that your government, your media despise you. They don't. It's all propaganda. That's all it is. Fox is probably a little better, I think. I mean, they stumble into the truth a fair amount of the time, but it's still the media. You know, when Elon Musk says on X that the people are the media now, that is such a dramatic, seismic shift in what is going on. And listen, there's been boomers have gone through a lot of seismic major shifts in their life. I would argue Gen X has too, but I can understand it took real heavy root, the trust in the media and the trust that your Tom Brokaw's, your Peter Jennings, you know, back in the day, back in the 90s. Brokaw may have even been in the 80s. I don't know. But by and large, boomers thought that they thought that the news at least shot kind of mostly square with you. You know what I mean? Like they understood it tilted a little left. Like it kind of veered off at maybe like a 20-degree angle or something. But like generally they're not just making stuff up. They're not just going to flat out lie to you on the nightly news. And then we found out, oh yeah, they are. They have. They have been. Probably for as long as there's been nightly news. The CIA looked at that and thought, hey now, that's a real good way to get into people's heads. We want them to believe our stories and our narratives. And look, the entire media entertainment landscape. We'll just get our little fingers in there and snake our way in here and there and in the leadership and all over the place. And so that was the beginning. Social media was the next thing. But I mean the censorship, everything. Just the very idea that I just I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to get through to boomers to try to help them to understand that the media is nothing but a pack of lies and propaganda, by and large. I understand that's a big leap to take, and I understand why you would be unwilling to take it. And, you know, life's pretty comfortable. You're retired now. You're just kind of hanging with the grandkids. Like, what are the chances things are going to go that far off the rails in the next 15 years that you're rattling around? I do understand a little bit of the complacency, but it's just it's so obvious to what. Okay, all right, you want that, that's fine, but don't then try to have opinions on things like the Ukraine war. I mean, like, oh, you know, I just can't believe what a bully Trump is. Really? Really? You can't believe what a bully Trump is? Wait until I show you this video of Zelensky and how he drafts people for the front lines. You want to talk about a bully? Well, I'll be gosh dang, but it looks to me like Ukraine's just like Putin-esque. Hell, I'm not sure there's a dime's worth of difference between the two. But that's not what we've been led to believe. That's not what the yellow and blue flags mean on our little social media things, right? Oh, if you could tell that I'm frustrated, I just it's shocking to me. Shocking that coming off COVID, coming off the Afghanistan war, coming off a just stolen in broad daylight election, that then people just lined up to swallow the Ukraine story. They were like, oh, George Washington's here again. Look, he's getting ready to cross the Danube, whatever it is. I don't even know what the river is over there. But anyway, um, let's listen to some more of Trump, President Trump, the bully. That's given all the bleeding hearts like flashbacks to the bully in elementary school, like the character in all the Stephen King books. Can you believe our president's being this way? Obama was so nice. I mean, except that he droned innocent families in the Middle East, killed them. But you're right. I mean, he had a better polished veneer than Trump. So if you can handle all the sinister corruption underneath with just a nice polished, shiny, clean veneer, okay, all right. Trump isn't all about that. That's not Trump's life. Let's listen to some more of Trump and Vance and the little elf dictator.
No, you've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
you
and not only in this cabinet.
We gave you, through the stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and you men are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
He thinks that Trump voted for Biden.
If you didn't have our military equipment,
if
you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this, I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of times thank you to American people.
Except that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on out here.
I agree with Trump.
That's why I kept this going so long.
I really do. And I think all of the...
You don't have the cards.
All the bleeding hearts out there.
Diplomacy
needs to be done behind
closed doors. You're running low on soldiers.
Listen,
you're running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go, and I want this. Look.
God, I love
if you
Trump.
could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets
it's the greatest thing ever happened.
Men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire
with guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't with me.
For you what,
that wasn't with me. That was with a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person.
That was with
Obama.
President. It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets.
Sheets.
In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
Oh, what do you mean, the cards? What do you mean, the cards, Mr. President? my Zelensky is going to have a little bit of a Hispanic flair. Oh, God. Trump just handles all of this masterfully. Just masterfully. And people who think he's the bully just don't have any understanding of what's going on. You don't have bullies on like the world stage. I mean, you have aggressors, but to be fair, we live in a world governed by the aggressive use of force. Rush Limbaugh's, I believe, first undeniable truth, and he's right. We do, whether or not we would like to, whether. At some future point, I believe when Jesus is here to rule and reign physically, that things are going to be different. But we're not there right now, and right now we live in a world governed by the aggressive use of force. So countries typically are self-interested, and they use, and so are we. You people out there who think that that America is some kind of Pollyanna, like we're out there and we just love Ukraine and we just love democracy, and we just we have to protect democracy. We can't let the light of democracy go out. All of the stupidity, all of just the banality. Okay, all right. If that's what you think that we're doing in Ukraine. I just, if you don't think that Zelensky's has already raked hundreds of millions of dollars off the top, you know what? Let me read. Now would be a good time. I want to read a tweet from Tucker. I think it was today. It was on Saturday. Today for me. It's not today for you guys. But here's a tweet that Tucker Carlson sent out today. That, God, I thought he just nailed it. He said one of the most striking things about yesterday's Zelensky press conference was Lindsey Grahamnesty's reaction to it. The two are old friends, but Graham disavowed him within the hour. This was more than just transactional disloyalty. It was scapegoating. Lindsey Graham knows what's coming. Over the last 3 years, with the tacit support of its Western patrons, the Ukrainian government has committed a remarkable number of serious crimes. The Ukrainians sold huge quantities of American weapons on the international black market at 20 cents on the dollar. These weapons are now in the hands of armed groups around the world, including Hamas, the Mexican drug cartels, and the forces now controlling Syria. God knows what the Ukrainians have done with the pathogens in American biolabs in their country. Even U.S. intel agencies aren't sure. The Ukrainians have also murdered a number of people in various countries in political assassinations and tried to murder others, including American journalists and a European head of state. This is all true, and it's all going to come out at some point. Better to start blaming it on Zelensky now. Man, he nailed that, didn't he? I mean, he's right on. Like, boom, 100%. Tucker just went in and just killed it. And his take, it's hard to disagree with his take. I when I first saw Lindsey Graham throwing Zelensky under the bus, I thought that they were just going to toss the elf overboard and just, go let him, take the millions that he stole and live somewhere as long as he shuts up and stays out of sight. But what Tucker's actually talking about with all of the crimes that have taken place, that they're going to pin it all on Zelensky, that's probably true. I mean, that rings true to me. So I'm gonna defer to Tucker on this one because I have a feeling that he may be right, that the Lindsey Graham is just one of the first, but the rats are abandoning the ship, and that's going to continue. And then all of you people out there who are like, oh no, I just think Trump's kind of a bully. I just don't like it. I wish he'd sit back in that chair and like cross his legs, just be a little nicer. Just, that's not Trump. I mean, we got Trump. Everyone voted. No one can you think of another person, of another human being, certainly not another American, who could have been more known to the public and to the voting public than Donald Trump was? No. Everyone knew in this last election of 2024, we've had 8-9 years of Trump. Like, we know Trump. And that resounding victory that he got, in spite of the fact that the thing was still rigged, it was that big that it was still resounding. That was America saying, we want Trump. You know who we want as our president? We want Trump. And we've got Trump. And you know what? 65% of this country's happy as clams that they have Trump. They can't wait to get up every morning and think, what's Trump going to do today? Because he's going to mess with somebody. And one thing we know, he is going to be pro-America because he loves America. There ain't nobody he loves more than America and Americans. Thank God for President Trump. So anyway, that was Tucker's thing. No, for those of you who okay, maybe Tucker's a little too right wing for you, right? That's fine. This is it's a Republican congressman, a Republican representative from Indiana, but she was born in Ukraine. Her name is Representative Spartz. Spartz. And she's talking about Zelensky. So let's hear what she has to say.
Are you confident that there even will be elections in Ukraine?
Well, listen, of course he wants to be, dictator there forever. He's taking his military, putting them in jail, anyone who can be political appointed, some of the best heroes. He prosecutes businesses, non-profits, took control of the media. He's acting no better than Putin inside his own country. I was saying the Ukrainian people, can stop that war, but they might lose peace significantly if they continue electing bad leaders like him. But unfortunately, maybe fortunately, Ukrainian people were able to see that, and he had very low rate, and people were tired of that. So unfortunately for the people now of Ukraine, he's trying to figure out how he make his rating go up, because he was bashing all Republicans. President Trump was dragging us through mud with lies. Because, he liked Biden, who could have the slush funds that him and his friends can funnel the money.
Yeah. So if Zelensky can help it, he's never having elections, because he'll never get elected in Ukraine. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I do want to share this video, because this, to me, was one of the most disturbing things I've seen. And well, I think you guys should be disturbed too. So it takes me like just a second here, but I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to share it and let you guys see what we're looking at and hear it. All right. This is how in Ukraine they get their military. You guys ready? Here it is. It's up. Let's listen. This is in Ukraine again. Military recruiters in Ukraine. Oh God. Kid's out walking his dog. But he's able-bodied. It looks to me like he just wants to fight for his country. What do you guys think? I don't know. Maybe he was running to get his gun. Well, they got him. And they got his dog, too. Uh-oh. It's going badly. Oh, God. He looks like he loves his country. It looks to me like Zelensky's got a lot of fans in Ukraine. Yeah. There goes another one off to the front. While you put your blue and yellow flag in your Facebook username. That's what you're doing to support Ukraine. Here's what Ukraine's doing to support Ukraine. How do you like it? Is this cool? You want this to come to America? You're just out walking the pooch one Wednesday afternoon, and the military recruiters show up, and they drag you off screaming. Like, this is Ukraine. Does this seem like you imagine 1776 to be? What are they doing with the dog? Anybody have any idea? No. They left the dog in the middle of the street because they don't give a damn about the dog. They don't give a damn about their own people. So that's what you're for. That's not a bully. Come on. Just, God, I can't, okay. Sorry, folks. I don't have Carrie here to soften me today. I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent, but this Ukraine thing drives me batty because it's so obvious in every single in every single sense, and the only reason people don't see it is because they want to believe the media, because they can't take that final break with the media, or that's just too unsettling. At that point, they're adrift out to sea in the middle of who knows what's true and what's not true. Better to have a North Star, even if we know that it's a fake North Star, even if we know the North Star's lying, even if we know that the North Star is nothing but government propaganda. Well, I know, but it's nice to have a North Star, like in the Matrix, when they're like, I know, but that US steak tastes pretty juicy when I'm in there, right? Okay, maybe that's true. I guess I don't know. It drives me. It does. It just drives me crazy. So I got to get my computer audio back on here and share it so I can share this next clip with you guys. All right, because it messes everything up when I go to video. I have not figured out how to be smooth about sharing actual video with you guys and not just the sound of video. So here's Brett Baer talking to the infamous ELF president. Let's see what he says.
Lindsey Graham, Republican from South Carolina, he has been a big proponent of you and of Ukraine, said this today after the meeting.
I have never been more proud of the president. I was very proud of J.D. Vance standing up for our country. We want to be helpful. What I saw in the Oval Office was disrespectful.
Lindsay knows who's going to win this
and
battle.
I don't know if we can ever do business with Zelensky again. He either needs to resign and send somebody over that we can do business with, or he needs to change.
So he says you need to consider resigning. Is that on the table?
I don't know if he will be happy after my words. This decision can do only people of Ukraine.
You're not going to step down to do a peace deal.
No, I was always ready. I'm not sure that is a good idea for this such proposals. But anyway, I always said if United States will support NATO, so I think that it's enough for Ukraine. So I think I did all I had to do. And if somebody is not this happy with me, okay. But between us, yes, Americans vote for American president. Each European country vote for their president, and only Ukrainian. With all respect to Lindsay, if I can say Lindsay, we know each other.
Lindsay.
Yes, and only Ukrainians.
Democrats.
Only Ukrainians can vote. Wait a minute, though. Wait a minute, President Elf Zelensky. How can Ukrainians vote for you when you won't hold an election? When you declared martial law and you suspended elections? I'm just curious. I'm curious because you just said, I swear you just said that. I got to go back now, Mr. President Elf Zelensky, and see if I actually heard you right.
I was ready. I'm not sure that is a good idea for this such proposals for American president.
Wait a minute.
Americans vote for American president.
I got that one.
Each European country vote for their president, and only Ukrainian. With all respect to Lindsay, if I can say Lindsay, we know each other. Yes, and only Ukrainians.
No, I heard him right. Only Ukrainians can vote for what? How are they going to do that, Mr. President? Mr. Elf President, how are they going to do that when you won't hold an election? Because you know that you're in the single digits of approval numbers, and you know that you'll be run out on a rail, and you also know that once all these corruptions and all these abuses and all these crimes come to light, you're going to be blamed for all of them. Regardless of how many hundreds of millions of dollars you've raked off the top, you can't be feeling like you're in a very good position right now. Is it possible that the little elf president is the only person who actually wants this war to continue? Well, no, I don't think that's possible. What about the defense contractors? What about the globalists in all the European countries? They seem real excited to keep the war going. So they must be getting their palms greased. So there are people for whom it's in their self-interest to keep this war going. And you know how they're going to do it? They're going to do it like we just saw. They're going to do it with vans rolling around Ukraine, grabbing poor young men out walking their dogs while he's screaming off to the front to the meat grinder to be killed by the Russians. That's how he's going to do it, because it's in his self-interest. But Trump's the bully. My God, open your eyes, please. Please look at the situation. Take what you learned from COVID. I hope to God you learned something from COVID and apply it. Apply it and say, wait a minute, our government lies to us about everything. Wait a tick. Our government that lies to us about everything tried to destroy Trump. Wait a minute. Trump's the only one who's been telling us the truth about anything. Oh God, I got to get, it's too much. It's too much. How am I going to go on to anything else after this? I'm so frustrated. I just can't even believe that this is still, that we're dealing with this. It's just, okay. All right, guys, listen, I've got lots of other clips, lots of stuff, but we're running a little long here. I'm running solo today. Oh, look, wait a minute. Carrie's going to call in. Right now, actually, I think she's getting ready to. Carrie's going to call in, and then I'll come back for a second, but for all intents and purposes, we're gonna have Carrie call in, and then we're just going to call it a day because I cannot get off of this groove of Ukraine today, and it's driving me insane. And if I have to stare at that little elf president anymore and listen to him mispronounce people's names and words and act like he doesn't know what Trump's saying when Trump says you don't have the cards, he's like, I'm not playing cards. What in the... God. How can anybody take this guy seriously? Honestly. Honest to God. But listen, guys, before Carrie calls in, I do want to thank you for tuning in. I know I've been on a little bit of a rant today, but luckily when Carrie's here, it's a little more toned down. And Carrie will be back next week. Join us for Beers with Jesus tomorrow. Again, I'm going to do that one solo. I will not be ranting about Ukraine the whole time. And tell your friends. Listen, just say, listen, you guys, you got to tune in. You got to send them a link, put it on social media. Get on my social media, Todd's World 2023, Todd Allen, wherever you want to find me. Grab some clips, share them with your friends, and then we'll grow this audience and we'll grow together. And we can laugh at all of this together and get frustrated at it all. This is one of the most frustrating things to me because this Ukraine thing is so much like COVID in that it is just the entire thing is a house of cards. I'm not playing cards. What? And this guy, this Zelensky guy, this can't even be real. Listen. Hold on, guys. Carrie's calling in right now. You ready? Hold on. Let's get her. Carrie's here for her call-in. How's vacation, Carrie?
Vacation is much needed and going very well. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're in Tampa.
How's the weather been in Tampa?
It's been so nice. It's cloudy today, but it's warm, so we're still outside. But we've been out in the sun. It's been like low, mid to mid 70s, and we've just been laughing a lot, and it's been wonderful.
That's probably just exactly what you need.
It's exactly what I needed. I am missing news big time. My phone, because I subscribe to certain news sites, I'm getting all kinds of weird alerts, and I'm like, Zelensky, what?
You don't even know what's going on.
Epstein, what? Yeah, I'm not in the know at all. You know what? I'm sorry. Our audience is going to be like, who is this chick Todd does this website with or does this podcast with? She doesn't know shit.
Did you watch at least the blow up between Trump and Vance and Zelensky or not?
No.
Oh my God. You have to go watch that. I mean, we'll play clips next week.
I've been saving stuff. I've been bookmarking things. I can't wait to see it all.
You don't understand what happened in the White House yesterday. It was unlike anything that we've ever seen. I mean,
oh my gosh,
it was wild.
How is it? We're not at war or anything, are we? Tell me, like.
Well, I mean, Ukraine's still at war, and Trump had it all set for them to be. You know, it was a mineral rights deal, and he had it all set, and Zelensky just. And then everything was fine. Zelensky was fine for the first 40 minutes and then just starts being a rude asshole to Trump and Vance. And Trump starts going off on him and Vance goes off on him. Because
Vance went off on him?
Oh, my God. You have to watch it. I can't. Yeah.
I can't wait.
It's unbelievable. I wasn't watching it live when it happened. It was early. It was probably noonish or something. And maybe it was 1, I don't remember. But anyway, and all of a sudden my phone starts blowing up like, have you seen what's going on right now? And so I got, and I was like, holy cow. And there's a whole, the entire left side of the country is all like, Trump's a bully. And
yeah, you know what? Zelensky is a clown. That's what everyone should be saying.
I know, but they don't know that. It's crazy. It's I'm gonna have. I actually haven't. I'm just in the process. I haven't done the podcast yet. I'm going to, and I'll plug this in, obviously. But I'm like, man, I just talked about Ukraine last week, and that's all over the news again. But I gave everybody all the answers that they know, that they need to know. Like, Then Daryl
You
asked
are
me
ahead of the curve,
if I
Todd,
listened
as
to
usual.
Daryl asked me if I listened to Zelensky's interview with Brett Baer, and I said I cannot think of a person more inconsequential to the world right now than Zelensky. I just don't waste any time with anything he says because I don't think anything he says matters.
Oh my
I got
gosh.
limited time and limited brain space. I don't need to clutter it up with people who don't matter. I already had the Minnesota
Right.
punter last week.
I know, right? The former Minnesota punter, correctly. Yeah,
what a
I've had
nightmare.
some cocktails, but I remember that much. Hey, I got to tell you, I'm not online. Like, I'm not online a ton. I have I'm kind of on phone restriction. I've had to sneak away just to do this call-in.
You should have had all your sorority sisters on the call. They would have loved me.
Well, I was going to say, do you want them? You know what? Before we wrap up, yeah, right. They'll be like, "Who are we talking to? That conservative racist."
I don't know why anyone could ever call me racist. I'm simply trying to introduce the word truth into the mainstream lexicon.
I say it ironically. So anyway, I'm just saying that I've had to sneak away. So I've not really been on my phone much because have, we try to be present with each other because we come from all over the country together. For those who don't know, this is my college girlfriends. We're from all over the country. We get together once a year. So we obviously try not to just scroll on our phones. We try to hang out together. Well,
does everybody still do it though?
No, not too much at all. We keep in touch with our families a little bit here and there. You check messages and what, but my phone was, I'm getting notifications and I'm seeing, and I hop on Instagram quickly and I see this and it's like, here's what I was going to tell you. From the Instagram side, I know that Zelensky is inconsequential, as you say, because everything I see about him online right now is like all the goofy clown video footage of him throughout history, of like dancing with, weird clothes on and being ridiculous. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's getting shredded on social media. Shredded.
Well, Lindsey Grahamnesty, who's been one of the biggest proponents of the Ukraine war, like a huge fan.
Oh my gosh, I know.
He came out afterwards and he called on Zelensky to resign. If you've lost Lindsey Grahamnesty, I feel like you've lost the war.
That's amazing.
I feel like it's over.
That's fantastic. It is over. I love that. You know what? I gotta say, Lindsey Graham. I don't know. I'm gonna sound super judgy, but I've had some cocktails, so I'm just.
You know what? You're gonna get it all when you listen to next week's Wildly Opinionated News Hour, because I'll have clips. I'll have up to date on everything going on, and you'll be able to catch back up on everything, and you'll be ready to go.
All right, good.
The week after.
But I'm going to sound judgy, but Lindsey Graham, I think, is just I think he's just looking out for himself. And I think right now he knows that Trump is a force. You better be behind or you're going to be left behind. And I think he's probably like, I better come out against Zelensky if I want to save my reputation.
It was so clear. Like I actually said,
oh my gosh.
I kind of gave a breakdown on everything that I think is going to go down, and which I have anyway. But I did. What I said is the whole thing felt a little staged to me today. No, you'll have to watch it before you'll have any.
The White House thing.
Just the
White House thing.
I felt like Zelensky. It's the first time. One of the first times that I felt like Zelensky was just playing a part. And
well, I mean, he's always playing a part, but I don't like just the idea of thinking that Trump and Vance are playing a part at all.
Well, I don't know if it's that as much as I think that that now that Lindsey Grahamnesty's turned on Zelensky, I think that Zelensky's going to fall on the sword. Trump and Putin are going to negotiate a peace. America will end up with the mineral rights ownerships that we want. And then the U.S. is going to begin strategically partnering with Russia to better utilize all those Russian natural resources. And I think that Zelensky will get to keep the hundreds of millions he's raked off the top and go disappear into a European villa somewhere. is my guess. Now, I don't know. I just think,
okay.
I also haven't thought anything was going to happen with the Epstein stuff. Like I was never excited. And then when it was a big letdown this week, I didn't care again because I never have expected anything to come of it. But maybe I'm wrong.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So, well, I was going to say, I called.
Basically, what happened is Bondi said she was going to release.
But what's happened?
Bondi was going to release a bunch of stuff. And she said she was going to do it tomorrow, which I think was Wednesday or Thursday. She did, but it was like nothing. It was like a few flights. It was nothing that nobody didn't already know. Flight logs, some stuff like that. And then it comes out that the entire the entire Southern District of New York FBI office is fighting against and is destroying all the evidence that they can. Like actively.
My gosh.
So
what the heck?
I don't know. That's what's going on. It's the same old same.
We're not going to find out anything.
But
same old thing.
So you're better off just enjoying vacation, not worrying about news until you get back, because nothing's changing.
Well, I've been looking forward to talking with you. So tell me, here I am on the Gulf of America.
Gulf of America.
I'm on the
Cheers
Gulf of America.
To the Gulf of America.
Cheers. Cheers. Thank you. You know what? I got to say, I can't say that in this group of my dear friends who are here.
You can't say cheers?
But no, I can't say Gulf of America.
It's like, my God, they are tightly wound to Hillsdale.
Yeah, some of them are. Some of them are. So I sent it in a text to my family, my kids, my mom, and I'm like, hey, guess what? It just occurred to me, I'm on the Gulf of America. And the responses I got back were awesome. Flags, eagle emojis. Everyone was like, woo!
Did you get some good sunshine this week?
Yeah, for the last 2 days, yes. Today is the first day that we've had clouds. It's
like how warm
beautiful. Is it? It's like 74 to 77. Beautiful. Absolutely
perfect
beautiful.
Pool weather.
Oh, it's perfect pool weather, and we're just drinking, Sonics by the pool all day, and we're watching Nate Bargatze specials at night. It's fantastic.
He's pretty funny.
It's so great. Yeah, he's so good.
It's a balmy 22 here right now.
22. I am so sorry. I should just shut up about this beautiful
That's
weather.
That's good. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Sorry. I am. It's great. And these women are just really good for my spirits right now. I have laughed sometimes so hard we're like laughing till we cry, and I just think, it feels so good to do that, because day to day right now, I'm not doing that. So it's been really great.
Tell them all, give them greetings from Todd's World.
I will actually. I'm gonna hold on.
You should have them. You should have them watch that Mitch McConnell clip that I did. Wasn't that? I was so impressed with that clip.
Well done. I was so impressed.
That clip should have gone viral on TikTok, and they shut it down, assholes.
What? They did?
Oh yeah, and it was like it was a rocket right out of the gate, and they just shut it down at 900 views.
I'm telling you, I really believe this. I think you're on their radar. You got to spend a month just posting like grilling videos or videos about tips on painting your house. And then I think they'll let it go. They'll let you go. And then we'll start fresh. Okay?
You know what I am doing now? I have, in the week since you've been gone, I have recommitted. Well, I never had committed. And I committed to YouTube, and I've been doing, because YouTube has YouTube Shorts now, which is like a TikTok thing. And so I've been putting them up on YouTube Shorts. I'm getting some views, not a ton, but you got to start someplace, and I hadn't really done anything on YouTube. And I think YouTube, so I guess in a way, I felt like I spent the week going backwards in the hope of going forward, because I really feel like YouTube has a higher growth potential. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. And my sons have mentioned YouTube Shorts as, YouTube Shorts came out in an attempt to compete with TikTok. So, why not? I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to hear from the girls real quick?
Sure, quick. Then I'll let you get back to your vacation.
Hold on. Okay. Ladies, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can you all just shout, hey, Todd's World?
Nice.
Woo!
Tell them hi.
There we go.
That was perfect.
Hi. All right, cool. All right. Love
Get back to your life, and we're excited to have you back next week.
You hold down the fort for this very, very important news happening, and I can't wait to hear it. And I'm glad we connected. Thank you so much.
Sounds good. See you, Carrie.
All right, love you. Bye.
All right, guys, I'm back. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Carrie, for calling in. I think I already said that, but just in case. It's good to hear from her. I'm glad she needed a vacation. Good for her to get away. So I really hope in the next week that Trump solves this Ukrainian situation, that the little elf president comes around and we get the peace deal and they stop and they stop with the vans pulling up to people, grabbing them screaming off the street to go die at the front and leaving their dog in the middle of the street to die. This doesn't seem good to me. I know how much we want to get excited about the flickering flame of democracy, but that doesn't seem like it. Canceling elections, that doesn't seem like it. Imprisoning your political opponents, nationalizing the press. Call me old fashioned. None of that seems to me like good old Milton Friedman conservatism. So I'm not entirely sure that we're fighting that we're fighting for the right thing here, folks. So anyway, thanks for joining me. Don't forget my new book's out too, 9 Mile Point. It's a great story. Just get online at toddsworld.net. Check out the merch. We got some good merch out there now. New Beers with Jesus hoodie, a new wildly opinionated news hour hoodie. It's pretty cool. And and the books. The books are on Amazon. Some great books out there. Insurrection Witness, 9 Mile Point, Leaves That Blew Away. Check them out, guys. Go buy some books. Be entertained. All right, guys. See you next week. Or I'll see you tomorrow. Beers with Jesus. I'll see you next week for the next wildly opinionated news hour.